What's up, guys? Mr. Lee Redden here with episode number 14 of the Road to the World Cup with El Salvador. I have now completed the second half of the Phase 4 group. So let's get into it and let's see, did we qualify? Or was the 2014 qualification a fluke? So we start off with a 3-3 draw at Costa Rica, which I have to admit I was quite happy about. Brian Reese put Costa Rica 1-0 up in the 7th minute. He then doubled his tally to make it 2 in the 32nd minute. Less than 5 minutes later, Ernesto Lopez had pulled one back for us and we went into half-time 2-1 down. Brian Perez then put Costa Rica 3-1 up 5 minutes after the hour mark. However, within 6 minutes we had pulled one back for Enriquez. 5 minutes later we were level 3-3 thanks to Lopez. We ended up drawing 3-3 to take a step closer to getting to Russia 2018. We had 12 shots each. They had 7 on target to my 5, and I had 51% possession. We then went into the next game and drew 2-2 with Jamaica. I was a little disappointed in this, so I thought if I was to qualify I would need to get a win against Jamaica and then maybe nick something on the road or win my other home game. Then my other home game was USA. The only other place I could see myself nicking a point really was either Costa Rica away or Trinidad and Tobago away. The problem was Trinidad and Tobago was the last game of the group qualifying, so I really kind of needed a point here. I went 1-0 up within about 30 seconds for Ernesto Lopez and was 1-0 up until the 77th minute when Rohan Rodney equalised for Jamaica. 3 minutes later, Donovan Whittingham had levelled it up for us, put Jamaica in front, with just 10 minutes to go. However, Ernesto Lopez equalised for us with a minute to go to give us a 2-2 draw, which I think we deserved. It was a close thing though, as in the 88th minute we had actually scored but was disallowed, so we managed to get another one. They had 16 shots to 4 in their favour. They had 5 on target to my 4, and I had 56% of the possession. Now the next game was 3-0 to Mexico, unfortunately. Flores had put Mexico 1-0 up after putting through his own net in the 23rd minute. Just 7 minutes later, Jorge Enriquez equalised to put Mexico 2-0 up going into half time. And then in the 64th minute, Bernandez put Mexico 3-0 up and they held on to get all 3 points. It was 19 shots to 6 in their favour, 11 shots to 3 on target in their favour, and they had 54% of the possession. The next game was my final home game of the campaign against USA. As you can see, it did not go according to plan. Shane Cresswell put USA 1-0 up in the 22nd minute. Rodriguez equalised just 60 seconds later. However, we weren't able to hold out to half time as Jose Altidore put USA 2-1 up with 7 minutes to go. In the second half, Mike Brick put USA 3-1 up in the 63rd minute, and then with just 13 minutes to go, Thomas Bart Williams put USA 4-1 up and out of sight and 3 points off, better off than they were before the game. They had 14 shots to my 6, I had 7 on target to their 2, and 54% possession. Now we're going into the last game. It was quite tight really. We had we had Mexico top, I believe it was, and USA in second. Those two were out of sight, they were through. We then had Jamaica in third on 10. I was 4th on 9. Costa Rica were 5th on 7, I believe it was, and then Trinidad were bottom on 5. So I was going into the last game against Trinidad and Tobago, who were bottom. Costa Rica went to USA, Jamaica went to Mexico. Jamaica lose, and I beat Trinidad. I went through. They had a better goal difference, unfortunately. If I lost and Costa Rica won, they would take 4th. But looking at the way the fixtures were set up, I was pretty much certain with myself that we'd guarantee the top 4 place, because we were playing Trinidad and Tobago. Even if Trinidad beat us, they couldn't take us. They would still be a point behind. I just wasn't expecting Costa Rica to beat the US, and the only thing I could think of was that we would either finish fourth, or we could get that final place in third and get the automatic qualifying place, because I didn't think Jamaica would get it through. The only problem was the only way really I could qualify was if I won, because Jamaica had a much better goal difference than us, so a draw could do it, but I think the Jamaicans would have to lose by about 7 or 8 goals. So let's see how we got on. So there we go, guys. Jamaica got smashed 5-1 by Mexico. USA smashed Costa Rica 5-2. I drew 2-2. Stedman put Trinidad and Tobago 1-0 up in the 5th minute. Larin equalised for me in the 37th minute. We went in 1-1 at half time. At this point we were in 4th. We weren't above Jamaica because of the goal difference. In the second half, Moran put us 2-1 up in the 57th minute, and we were on course to finish 3rd. However, a typical Football Manager thing, and I just don't know if this is me moaning or if this happens to everyone. It really pisses me off, to be fair. It wouldn't be too bad if it actually goes the other way as well, but it always just seems to go against me. Arturo Alvarez got injured in the 78th minute. The amount of times on this game where I've conceded within at least 10 minutes of a player being injured is an absolute joke. Like I said, if it happened the other way around, I wouldn't have too much of a problem with it. But does it happen very often the other way around? It does not at all. I knew, as soon as I made the change, I just said to myself, I can guarantee they're going to score. Within 60 fucking seconds, they did. They went in straight up the other end and scored through Noel Stedman. And they equalised, and it stayed that way to the end of the game. Stats wise, I had 12 shots to 9 in my favour. There's 7 on target to their 5, and I had 58% in the possession. So, to show you how this has ended, we have finished 4th, only out of the top 3 on goal difference. If Arturo Alvarez had not got injured, then I get a feeling we would be sitting in 3rd and going to our 2nd World Cup in a row. But surprise, surprise, no, we finished in 4th and going to the playoffs. I can't obviously completely blame the injury, mainly because we only won 2 games out of 10, which is obviously not good enough. But ever since I made the World Cup last time, it's just kind of gone downhill really, because some of the players are retiring. We haven't got great in-depth players and all that. But I'm in 4th place, so I'm in the continental playoffs. They have been drawn, and I'll show you who I get. The 4 teams in the continental playoffs were myself, the 5th team in South America, Chile, Oceania group winner, New Zealand, and the playoff winner in Asia, which was Oman. The only team I did not want was Chile. And surprise, fucking surprise, I got Chile. Apologies for the language, guys, but I was so pissed off that I missed out on qualifying in 3rd because of an old Football Manager help of an injury, but then to go and make it worse by getting bloody Chile, I just got so annoyed at this point. But still, we've made it to the playoff again. We might have a chance of doing this. I have to be honest and say I don't think so. I think the scores could actually be reversed up to what I did against New Zealand, which was it 6-2 on aggregate. I think I beat them. Let's just check. Yeah, I beat him 2-0 at home, 4-2 away, so 6-2 on aggregate. I get a feeling it could be that. It could be that, but in reverse to Chile. So we'll have to see what happens. I will live com those games as well. So there's going to be at least one more video, maybe 2. If we make it, I'll do the 2nd, obviously, for the World Cup. So we've got at least one more video, maybe 2. But we've got some friendlies as well. Let's have a look. Why did I just go do that when I'm already on the fixtures? Oh, actually, we did have a friend against St. Martin, one of the lowest ranked clubs in CONCACAF. But I got cancelled due to the home leg of the playoffs against Chile. We'll have a look at the rest of the world and see who's got what. That's the final round for Africa. I think the only team I would say personally that's guaranteed to be through there is Ghana. Cape Verde and Algeria may come back to take something. I would say maybe Algeria. I can't really see Cape Verde doing it. Asia, I've already shown you the qualifiers there. Apart from obviously Oman beat Bahrain in the playoffs. In Oceania is obviously New Zealand, and they got Oman. South America, obviously Chile finished 5th, but we've got Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay and Colombia qualifying. In Europe we have, no, don't want that, I want that. We have Austria qualifying over Portugal. France are in 2nd. Germany, Spain, Italy, Slovakia, Belgium, Ukraine, and in England. And then the playoffs, which are Serbia against Holland, Scotland got Portugal, Turkey got Croatia, and the Czech Republic got Ireland. Again, my rankings are still not great. I think it's 80th, in the 80s again, still 87th. Maybe qualifying for the World Cup could get me bumped up a little bit. But that is it, guys. Leave likes and leave some comments, subscribe, leave some likes, I would say, for us making the playoffs again. Maybe if there's a dislike button, I'll tell you guys to smash the crap out of it after the goal 60 seconds after the injury and then the horrible bloody draw for the playoffs. But that's it for this episode, guys. Tune in next time for a special live com episode of the Road to the World Cup with the 2 legs against Chile. Until then, guys, as always, take it steady.